What?
Yes, 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 yes,
Almost.
yes, almost. Halfway there. Maybe 3/4 of the way there. Let's go at 90%. 95 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are we streaming live? Yes, we are. Awesome.
Yeah.
We
All
are.
right. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Happy Monday.
What's up?
Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know for us it was very busy.
Busy, busy,
With
busy, busy.
children's birthday parties, but all great stuff. So if you've been following us for a while, or if you listened to our other trainings, I mentioned something the other day, and it was peak span.
Yeah.
So
I did hear you say that.
I want to have
And then I said muscle span.
part of
So
it.
I'm curious where you're
Part of
going
it.
with this.
So today is a topic that I want to address, and it's about how we're not, our goal is to not just live longer, but we need to have a goal to stay in our prime.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
So we're going to dig in, but before we do, make sure you subscribe to our channel and give us comments, feedback, share these, please, because education is extremely important.
It is, of course.
And everybody
For us too.
deserves, 100%. Have to constantly be learning. So if we ever are talking about a topic and you kind of think, oh my gosh, Susan would love this one, send it to Susan.
And
right?
tell Susan to join next week too.
Yes.
I think recruiting's good because I like to interact with the all the people on here, so it's great.
Of course.
Like last week we did the mineral one, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed that because I learned stuff from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like researching it before, hearing some of the things that you talked about, it was educational for me as well. I really enjoy that. Like it's like that every week.
Yeah. Good stuff.
To be honest. Yeah.
All right, so let's dig in.
Let's do it. It's a good topic.
Okay, so it's a kind of a sad number here, but most people hit their peak. Most people hit their peak. This is physically, mentally, hormonally, all of those, your muscular system, all around age 25.
How would you define that though? You said physically. What about physical?
Well, physical, your muscle mass, bone mass, like everything is peak. You are your strongest. You are able to retain the most muscle. And this is all about at age 25. And then after age 25, you have this slow decline.
Men and women alike, or no?
Yes. Yep. 25 was about that number for everybody. But the real question that we need to ask ourselves is, are we extending our life or are we extending our prime? This has a lot to do when I talk about lifespan. Are we just extending our life? Are we just adding years on to how long we live, or are we extending our prime, right? Our health span, our peak span, how long we live in a healthy state, how long we can hang on to that peak or prevent that decline. So our goal is to not just live longer. It's to stay strong, sharp, energized, and independent for as long as possible. And I love the independent because I'm sure there's many of you out there that have to take care of loved ones that are in their, in their later years, and unfortunately are no longer independent. And we all think, I know I constantly am looking at that. I'm like, gosh, I hope till the day I die, I am able to be independent. I'm able to drive myself places. I'm able to do things for myself, lift things, carry things, think, whatever it is. So I'm sure we all have those same goals. Some people just don't necessarily think about it as much as others. So I hope this gets everybody to be thinking about it if you don't.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm thinking about something a little different here though.
Okay.
So peak is 25, right? Reproductive ages are until when?
They say of course we know that with hormonal help and everything, or at 40 and beyond, you could still get pregnant easily, but that's obviously with help. But they say your prime for it is 25.
For reproductive health?
For reproductive health. It's just where everything is going to be balanced. And it doesn't mean that it can't happen. It's just that's your peak, where everything is working as it should, and it should be very easy.
But how long, so reproductive health in women is till about 50 what? 51, 52? Where is the most menopausal?
The average for menopause is about 50, but you have so many people that begin, perimenopause at 40. And if you're in that boat,
When are men?
that it's, you're not hormonally sound.
Yeah.
It's messy. So the chances of you actually getting pregnant.
Men's reproductive health goes probably into, longer. 50s, 60s.
Sure.
Sometimes.
But you're definitely not your peak.
Definitely not. Definitely
Your
not.
peak is
Definitely
25.
not.
And we are having children later.
Yeah.
So it's typically outside of that peak.
The reason why I'm just bringing this up, and you're probably wondering what the heck I'm talking about,
Sure.
it's a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're really a unique species in the regard that we do live many years beyond our reproductive years.
Oh, yeah.
Health.
Oh, sure.
Beyond the peak. I know you're talking about peak, but
Yeah.
like I think the only other one funny, and you might ask what's in common, but toothed whales, right, live beyond their reproductive years as well. And so it's a hard thing to understand. A lot of species actually die at the end of their reproductive cycle.
Right.
But that's a lot of it would explain a lot of the decline, though. We just don't have much vitality. And so I'm sure that's what we'll talk a lot about today is how to preserve that vitality, how to sort of, in a way, I guess, biohack it. But
yeah,
that's a weird
100%.
word, though.
Well, no, I mean, it's not necessarily biohack, but we have to take care of ourselves more than you think. It's
More than
not
you
just
think.
going
Correct.
to happen. Like a lot of
Right.
times we just coast through and think we're,
A lot of coasting.
doing great.
A lot of
But you
coasting.
have to take care of yourself to be, to stay in your peak and extend that health span.
Crazy. The coasting we
crazy.
do because of the convenience of modern world, right?
Sure. Yeah.
A lot of coasting
Yeah. Until you can't coast
until you
anymore.
can't coast.
So let's talk about just the 3 spans, right? Because we have our lifespan, our health span, and our peak span. So lifespan is literally just the years you are alive. It is how long you live. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could have those last 20 years of your life in a wheelchair, in a hospital bed. It doesn't matter. That's your lifespan. That is how long you live till the day
You die.
it's your time to die.
Mm-hmm.
And modern medicine has actually increased this. So while our lifespan may be
Longer.
extending,
Yeah.
the health span is not.
Right.
So it's great that we have this modern medicine that can help keep us alive longer. But what's the
What's the
point
point?
of that if we are sick and unhealthy and bedridden and miserable and all that? So more years does not equal better years. Okay, but we want it to, right? So that's not your lifespan though, right? This is lifespan. Lifespan is more years do not equal better years. So like I said, we've extended the lifespan, modern medicine, but not necessarily the quality of life. And then enters health span. This is how long you live without disease or major limitations. So you might think you're doing great and your health span is long, but if you're sitting there with diabetes, you don't have a long health span. You've already capped that.
Well, you're
You have disease, you have limitations, you have things going on. Doesn't mean these things aren't reversible, right? We can really extend our health span.
type 2 to be specific on that example.
Yes. And health span is how long you have energy, mobility, cognitive function, and independence. Back to the independence. These are all things that we need to pay attention to and work on to help increase our health span. So this is the sad reality. Many people spend the last 20 years in decline, in a negative health state, in a state of disease. There's medications that we're on, layering and layering, fatigue, chronic inflammation, chronic disease. All of these things start to decline in our last 10 to 20 years of our life. So that's our health span is already stopped there, right? The last 10 to 20 years, that's your lifespan is extending. So health span is the difference between living and existing. So repeat that again. Health span is the difference between living and existing. We don't want to just sit here and exist. We want to live. We want to thrive. That's where an all-in-all supplementation is a major, major, major player in this. And we'll get to that. Okay, and then the third one is the peak span.
Okay.
This is what I just spoke about last week. And it was from a podcast from a doctor that I was listening to. And she really focuses on peak span. And it's the most important concept. These are the years that you are strong, lean, mentally sharp, hormone balanced, and with high energy. And if you think about it, everybody looks back to those years, when you were rocking and rolling and everything seemed to be fine and dandy around that 25. Truth bomb is most people peak about 25, decline in the 30s, and then an accelerated decline in their 40s and beyond. So the peak span is our prime, and most people lose it decades too early because when you're at 25 and you're in your peak, you're not necessarily thinking about this kind of stuff.
No, definitely not.
You're not
that's
thinking-
what I'm struggling with in my head
Yeah.
here is what you're about to say next is how are you going to bridge telling us that the peak span is 25 and then somehow we need to maintain that 35 and 45, 55, 65.
Right, right. Well, I mean,
'Cause
for many of us, it's already gone down, but we have family members and we have children and other people to help educate and give them the goal
but is it possible?
of extending their peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have to work on it. You have to work on it before you recognize any type of decline, right? This is about preventative medicine versus reactive medicine. Reactive medicine is is what most of us do. We wait and wait, we wait and wait until we're like, oh my gosh, I have brain fog. I'm so tired. I'm so achy. I can't blah 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 blah. And then we decide to be reactive and start taking care of ourselves. But if we're proactive, if we're proactive with our health and we're doing great and continuing to do everything that we need to do, instead of just being, right? Instead of just coasting, we're layering in the supplements, we're
Right.
doing all the other modalities, whatever it may be, like the sauna and cold plunge, other certain biohacking stuff. Yes, is a major player, but also really focusing on our eating and moving our body and working on stress and sleep. If we do all of that preventatively, that is what is going to extend our peak, keep us in our prime longer.
Got it. Okay.
And I mean, again, a lot of this here, if we're already way beyond that, the goal really is focusing on extending the health span. And if you are in certain disease states, it's not the end. Those many, many, many things can be reversed with taking care of yourself.
So you
Right?
shift out of your peak span into your health span, basically, because you can't maintain peak, right? Peak is peak.
Right. But
Peak
the
is
goal is to maintain it, like
Slower,
maybe
gradual
90,
decline.
maybe maintain 90% of it. You know,
Right.
you're not going to be able to maintain that 100% because you do have a peak.
Yep.
But you can maintain it, the upper percentage, a lot longer than we do. Because again, we normally just let it drop because we're not paying attention to anything and we're coasting. So let's talk about what causes the decline. We did a little bit already.
Yep.
This is where functional medicine, root cause education, this is where it really takes hold. So the core drivers of aging and decline are nutrient depletion. We talk about this all the time. Our soil, our food quality. It is so less nutrient dense than it ever was. And unfortunately, I don't think we're turning back. You know, I don't know how the world would do that. But with this nutrient depletion, we're not getting what we were from our food. Basic vitamins, minerals, we are just not getting them. And you would probably have to overeat so much food to just get the vitamins and minerals that you should be. And that's not the goal, right? Because overeating is negative as well. Chronic inflammation. We did talk about this in one of our trainings. We talked about omega balance, right? The omega-3 versus omega-6. Because of processed foods, and also just like we talked about chicken, right? That was the number one thing we were talking about then. Just eating like conventional chicken that's raised on conventional feed. So then your chicken has a higher omega-6. And you need a balance of omega-3 to omega-6. But our, I don't want to say standard American diet, because it's not just American. Our diet today is higher in omega-6. So we have this chronic inflammation going on. Mitochondrial dysfunction. We also talk a lot about this. Low energy production. Our mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells. And if they are dysfunctional, like we're not going to be producing the energy that we need. So all of this stuff going on is what drives our aging and our decline and muscle loss, which really begins in our 30s. And again, we're not necessarily paying attention to it until like, oh my gosh, I have no muscle mass, right? And then it's so much harder to get it back. It doesn't mean you can't. You just have to work for it. Like no more coasting, guys. We have to put it in. Lyrican. Hormonal shifts that come with aging. Okay. Hard to prevent these, but the more we take care of our body, the longer we will stay balanced. Blood sugar instability. We've done many trainings on this. We have to have stable blood sugar. I talked about my experience. I've been in and out wearing a continuous glucose monitor so I can learn about how my body responds to certain foods. And I eat all healthy foods, but still there's certain order of operations of the way I eat things that will have maybe a spike in my blood sugar when I really want those rolling hills. And I know you're about to start the program so you can learn more about yourself as well. So that's the blood sugar instability, and then gut dysfunction. And when we talk about gut stuff, you've heard me say before a lot when I talk about our probiotic is you don't necessarily have to have these signs in your gut to have gut dysfunction. They are common if you have gut dysfunction, right? The bloating, the indigestion, gassy, whatever it may be. Yes, that's gut dysfunction, but sometimes you can have it as brain fog, right? Because there's the gut brain connection. Sometimes your liver is all stopped up. I mean, there's a connection between your gut and your liver. So this is why it's really important for everybody to be taking a high quality probiotic and with also, ingredients of prebiotics, postbiotics, and gut balancing things. So aging is not just time, it's a biological process driven by deficiencies and dysfunction, right? So we can work to not prevent, you can't prevent aging, but we can work on our bodies.
Sounds
to
like
help
you're trying
prevent.
to say that we can.
Oh, maybe one day, that'd be amazing. But no, not in our lifetime.
Peak.
Peak. Okay, so why lifestyle alone is not enough. Okay, so let's talk about supplementation. Even though we do consider, personally, we like to consider supplementation as part of like one of the lifestyle pillars. But when we're really talking about lifestyle, it's talking about you're eating healthy,
Nutrition.
you're moving your body, you're sleeping right, you're stressing less, like all that kind of stuff that you don't need anything else to help with. But eating healthy is not enough anymore, right? Because we're not getting the nutrients just by eating healthy. It's wonderful that we're eating healthy, but the food doesn't have the nutrients. It's more processed, it's higher omega-6, less nutrient dense, all of that all works against us when we're just eating healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, you'd have to eat like massive amounts of food to reach certain, nutrient levels that you need. And we can't go around eating massive amounts of food every day without now becoming overweight, obese, which leads to a whole nother slew of health conditions. I mean, I feel like
What are you referring to? Trying to hit your protein goals where you would just end up with a ton of
not
calories?
not just protein. I'm talking micronutrients.
Micronutrients, yeah.
Talking micronutrients.
Yeah.
We'd have to do massive amounts of foods, and most people are magnesium deficient, which is what we also talked about last week, was the minerals, the importance of minerals.
Probably more so insufficient, right? And there's an insufficiency there than maybe deficiency.
Sure.
Yeah.
Deficiency,
Probably the most.
insufficiency. Yeah.
Because it's like even with D3, what you're about to say, you don't see rickets as much anymore. You don't
Right.
see, scurvy with vitamin C. I mean, but it's when I get into that rant about the RDA. We're not talking about that.
Right. But
Yeah.
those deficiencies are also so low
extreme.
that
Extreme.
you're causing a disease state.
Right. Yeah.
But deficient doesn't necessarily have to be the bottom of the barrel, but you're to the outside of the range and the lower ends, or even towards the very end of that range.
Right.
Omega-3 deficient or out of omega-6 3 imbalance. Got to be having the factor 4. And I talked about the multivitamins. We know vitamin D, and just again, low in key micronutrients. So you can't build a high performance body. And when I talk about a high performance body, I'm not talking about sprinting and running miles and throwing a bunch of weight overhead. I'm talking about high performance in every day of your life, from your energy, your mood, your brain function, your sleep, all that. That's high performance. If we're doing all these things right, that's high performance. You can't do that on a low nutrient foundation. So we have to have our nutrient. If you notice here too, this is also our foundational 5-pack. I pulled it here just because I feel personally that it's a wonderful starting point to get your body rocking and rolling before we stack other things on. All right. Supplementation is often the missing link. Not only are people not thinking they need it, but there's also those that take a low quality supplement that has vitamins and minerals with poor bioavailability.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
Cheaper ingredients that just aren't
Cheap
going to
material.
really do much for
Yeah,
you.
you see a lot of that.
And it's really something where quality does matter. It really, really matters.
Especially when it impacts bioavailability, for sure.
Yeah. So you're doing this supplementation for a reason. It has to be of high quality.
Sure.
So if you want to extend your peak span and of course your health span, supplementation is not an option. It's not optional, it's essential. And we're seeing this more and more and more because of what's going on with our food being more processed, less nutrient dense, and just really high in omega-6s. Those three are very powerful into what's going on with our bodies when we're just eating food. So taking supplements is essential part of your daily life, unless you're just going to coast and
Ghost. Here we are again.
try to
Let's
keep your
coast
increase your
Coasting.
lifespan through modern medicine and not worry about your health span or whatever. Okay, so like I said, our foundational 5 non-negotiables, an amazing way to start. Multivitamin covers your baseline deficiencies, your D3, K2, hormone, immunity, bone health. We know people are very either low or deficient. I mean, I'm doing a favor for actually a friend in the gym, his wife, who's hasn't been feeling great, very healthy, does everything right. She just sent me over her blood work and she was on the very low end of the range. And I'm like, why is she not taking a
For
vitamin?
which one? D3?
Vitamin D. Like, why is she not taking this? And why has her doctor not said anything about this? That was kind of just crazy to me because that's a major player. Magnesium. I mean, we talked about the minerals last week. Make sure you guys watch it. But most of us are deficient, insufficient, and it's involved in over 300 chemical reactions in the body, which really means if one of those reactions needs magnesium to take place and you don't have magnesium, it's not going to take place. Right? It's as simple as that. So you got to sometimes we got to break it down because without, not everybody has the scientific brain and it's, to understand what that actually means. Sleep, stress, muscle, nervous system, very, very important for it. Factor 4 helps correct the omega balance. So we have to take the omega-3s and we have to watch the omega-6s in our diet to have a healthy, happy omega balance. And obviously we know this is a potent anti-inflammatory. Also with turmeric, CoQ10, garlic, black pepper. We never talk about the black pepper.
I was just going to do it.
Oh.
Yeah, I was literally just going to say, because you just said something about the material selection when you're choosing a supplement can really make or break the quality of a supplement and the outcome of in your health, right? Because magnesium glycinate is, I'll give you a quick example. Magnesium glycinate, most bioavailable form, most studied form, easy on the gut, increases your serum levels so the body can absorb magnesium. All right, perfect. D3, we went with D3 instead of D2, right? D2
Right.
is typically used in the pharmaceutical setting. D3, for whatever, is more bioavailable. It's cholecalciferol. It's a better form of vitamin D. The B vitamins that we put in here are all methylated form of B vitamins, so that you don't, if you have MTHFR gene variant or for whatever reason you can't properly absorb B vitamins, those will help with that as well. And then, of course, the biopyrine, the black pepper, that helps absorb the curcumin because it typically has low bioavailability. So these are the types of things we look for and to improve. And what is bioavailability? It's just exactly how much is available for the body to use. So thinking like that, formulating with that in mind, always trying to formulate the highest quality supplement. So,
It's very important.
it is important.
Very important. And our probiotic.
Oh yeah, probiotic
Immune
as well.
system, nutrient absorption.
Of course.
Nutrient absorption is the big one too, because I feel like that's not talked about a lot. But if you don't have a happy gut, if your gut is not healthy, if if you have dysbiosis, you have poor nutrient absorption. Your body, you're not able to absorb the nutrients. So even the things that you're eating, even the supplements that you're taking, if you have dysbiosis, you are not able to absorb all those nutrients properly. So you have to be taking care of your gut. It's so simple. So simple. Now this is your foundation. Like without this, everything else is built on sand.
Sure.
Nothing.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So you start here. And then that's where you might want to reach out to me and say, okay, I've got my foundation. I've been taking it for 3 months. I'm starting to feel better.
What else can I do?
Let's go. I'm just going to roll through some real quick. We have performance and peak span extenders, your protein and your collagen.
Right.
Muscle, preventing muscle loss, helping your skin, joints, recovery. Creatine plus HMB, brain, right? At higher doses, we know creatine is amazing for the brain.
Yeah, sure.
And your muscle longevity, strength, cognitive function. Big things. Essential aminos, muscle preservation and repair. Again, very, very important things. Super greens, super reds, just simply filling our nutritional gaps. We're not getting it. You got to fill them. Helps the circulation, detox, adaptogens. There's just so much. We talk about mitochondrial dysfunction, right? We have our methylene blue strips, our NAD strips. Try alternating one each day. Telling you guys it's going to be magical. What happens to your body? What happens to your brain? But we have to be doing these things. And I know I get the emails a lot that, gosh, this is a lot of stuff. Well, what do you want? Do you want to coast? Or do you want to take care of yourself and increase your health span and try to extend that peak span if you're already up there in it, right? If you don't actively support your body, it will decline by default. You have to remember that. You have to put the work in and support your body. Otherwise, we just go downhill, right? And we talked about reactive and proactive
Yeah, sure.
health,
Always
right?
talk about that. Yeah.
So we really want to be proactive and prevent decline, optimize function, extend peak years. Now, just because if you have not been proactive, you can still be reactive. It's just a lot more work. And it takes a lot more time, right? So you're having to like reverse something. So let's not wait for symptoms. Let's not wait to report on medications. Let's not wait for like till we have to enter this decline management system, right?
Totally.
So
Totally.
I don't know if you saw any questions there.
Yeah, no,
but
a lot of
think about
comments about
this.
there. Go ahead.
Do you want to be independent in your 70s, 80s, and 90s? You want to be strong? Yes. Clear-minded? Yes. I mean, I think we're all in this together. Do you want to be active with your family, your grandchildren, maybe your great-grandchildren? Or do you want to be fatigued, inflamed, and dependent on someone to do anything and everything for you because you just can't?
Cool. Good ending. Let me answer a quick question here from Melissa. Why is vitamin K only at 2,000 IUs? Functional docs recommend 5,000 minimum, up to 10,000 in wintertime. I think you're referring to the D3 as 2,000 units. So because each capsule is 2,000, there's 60 capsules in a bottle. So we take 1 to 2, that'd be 2,000 to 4,000 a day. It is a fat soluble vitamin. Be careful. If you don't know your numbers, really fat soluble vitamins can get dangerous in high doses if you don't know what you're going for. What are your blood levels? What are you trying to shoot for? So I think the 2,000 is honestly, the 2,000 per capsule is an absolute sweet spot. It is on the high end. It will move your numbers to 40 to 50 nanograms per ml of your blood level D3. So that's a good spot to be. If you want to be higher, like Lisa, you take 6,000 maybe units a day, whatever. I don't know where you are.
No, this is where I was going to give the example. Doctors should never just recommend a number when it comes to vitamin D. It has to be based on your blood work. Because for me, I take 2,000 capsule one day and then 2 the next day. And I alternate 1, 2, 1, 2. If I were to take 2 per day, that's 4,000 international units. I would be too high. I am already on the high upper end with taking a 2,000 international units one day and then 4,000 the next.
So everybody's different.
Ryan takes 4,000 every day to maintain his upper number. If I was taking 5,000 a day, I mean, my vitamin D would
and
be too high.
I've seen the 10,000 number floating around out there. I've seen it on, as available as nutritional supplements. It's dangerously high.
Right.
And
now that should be like short-term use to get your
to
body
get you where you need to
out
be
of that deficient state. It doesn't mean there's not a place in it, but if you're just taking 10,000 international units every day, your vitamin D level will likely skyrocket eventually through the roof. And
2,000 a day would be safe if you didn't know your blood work, right? I didn't want to give you 5,000 or 10,000 without knowing your blood work could put you in harm's way.
Right.
2,000 a day, if you don't have any clue where you're at, is going to put you at least somewhere in a good zone.
Right. And remember, again, like you said, that we put 60 capsules in this one, because if you notice, almost all of our supplements are 30-day supply. But we put 60 in capsules in the vitamin D for those that do need to increase the dose, because we know it's based on your number.
Good question about NAD that came through. Is like, what about adding NAD for the health span? Yes, I think did you mention NAD?
I did, especially talking about energy and mitochondrial health, talking about NAD and methylene blue.
Yep. And for all the things that Lisa talked about, like some of the pillars, we have done like focus zooms on just those alone, like stress management, sleep optimization, nutrition balancing, exercise, those are the types of things we love to talk about. And we've done individual Zooms on those.
Yeah.
Or Zooms, but video trainings.
Yeah, check it out. They're all on the YouTube channel. So if you go there, maybe find something that's calling you and you're like, oh gosh, I'm really struggling with this one, or I missed the mineral one, or what is she talking about, omega balance?
All right. Right.
Go watch it. It's important.
So yeah, that wraps it up.
Yeah, really important stuff. So don't just aim to live longer, fight to stay in your prime longer, because a long life without energy, strength, and clarity is not the goal. Start with your foundational 5, build from there, and be consistent every single day, really.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good job.
Thank you for joining, guys.
We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. Later. Bye.